Hello and welcome to Always Bored, Never Boring. Look, I know I'm supposed to be doing this whole everything is spooky for spooky month thing on the channel this October, but to heck with that. We've had the full reveal of the next HeroQuest expansion, Wizards of Morcar. There have been a few leaks about this expansion floating around the internet recently, some pictures of new miniatures. I was a little suspicious, so I kept tight-lipped about it all, but it seems those leaks weren't fakes. Now obviously I will be picking up a copy of this expansion to review in depth, so I don't want to dissect every little thing we have seen so far or I will have nothing left to say. So bearing that in mind, let's dissect every little thing we have seen so far. Yes, it's still called Wizards of Morcar, confirming that Morcar is canonically a part of Avalon Hill's HeroQuest. Not sure how I feel about that. I like the idea of Morcar being just another name for Zargon. I hope they don't make my original bad boy into one of Zargon's lackeys. I guess I'm kind of hoping Morcar is the name the people of the North gave to Zargon, the way everyone had different names for Gandalf in Lord of the Rings. Nevertheless, the box art is great and reimagines the classic expansion box art only reversed, with the evil wizard on the left instead of the right. The back of the box reads, "Lord Tome has foreseen the alliance of the realm's most powerful wizards, all of whom have agreed to do Zargon's dark bidding. This time, Zargon seeks the legendary magic of 1,000 dread sorcerers locked away in the high altar of the northern Dreadwastes. If Zargon gets his hands on this power, all will be lost, he will be unstoppable." So SSDD for our heroes. The box goes on to say, a classic tale returns with 5 additional quests. Venture to the northern Dreadwastes and destroy a terrible power in 10 reimagined quests based on the 1991 iteration of Wizards of Morcar. This is further clarified to be 5 original quests and 5 reimagined, which is a bit confusing. However, the original Wizards of Morcar had just 5 quests, so it's safe to say what we are getting here are the 5 original quests adapted for the North American rule set, and then a further 5 quests to extend the story into a longer campaign. When Avalon Hill did this with Against the Ogre Horde, the reimagining was done in such a way that fans of the original expansion could simply play through the story they remembered, ignoring the extra quests. It remains to be seen if that will be true of Wizards of Morcar. But I'm not going to dwell on that because there are lots of other exciting things to discuss. For a start, we finally get our female wizard miniature. It's been a long time coming, but now those of us who didn't back the original HeroQuest crowdfunding campaign can, technically, field an all-female version of our original heroic crew. We just have to use the miniature for the female dwarf adventurer from Jungles of Delthrak in place of the regular dwarf. And that's far from being the only new plastic in the box. For those people who were concerned that Crypt of Perpetual Darkness represented a new approach with expansions having less miniatures, this should put your mind at ease. There are 27 miniatures in total. We have new versions of the wizards from the original expansion. The Storm Master, the High Mage, the Orc Shaman, who, unless my old eyes fail me, is now called a Warcaster, and the Necromancer. And then we have a new wizard, an Artificer. Yes, an entirely new spellcaster, with a new set of spells, one of which is Conjure Golem, which would explain those 2 humongous golem miniatures. We also get something that I couldn't be more excited about. It's a Minotaur, a big shaggy Highland one at that. And call me crazy, but that knight right there, the one with the shield with the horse emblem on it, if that isn't Sir Ragnar, I'll buy a hat and eat it. Please see video description for terms and conditions. There are also 2 mimic miniatures, 1 mimic chest and 1 mimic door. They look really fun. I do vaguely feel like some of these new additions represent more of a slide towards HeroQuest being a Dungeons & Dragons product, but mimics are cool, I'm okay with it. With all those new enemies to face, the heroes will need some help, so this expansion, as with the original, includes mercenaries. There are 12 in total, 3 each of 4 designs, and they are not the same sculpts as the mercenaries from the Frozen Horror, which is nice because Avalon Hill could have cut a corner there. The last miniatures in the box are a stone wall, a wall of ice, and a wall of fire. These are all used to represent spell effects. Wall of Stone is a new protection spell for the Heroic Wizard, Wall of Flame is a new spell for the High Mage, and Wall of Ice is a new spell for the Storm Mage. Which I suppose means we should talk about spells. The original Wizards of Morcar introduced 4 sets of enemy spells, 1 set for each wizard, and 3 new sets of heroic wizard spells that the wizard could pick from rather than using the elemental magic from the core set. Having access to new spells is exciting, but my concern with remaking Wizards of Morcar was that the new heroic spell sets were quite weak. It was always better to stick to the elemental magic. I had hoped Avalon Hill would revise them, but from what I have seen here, it's possible they have reproduced them accurately. We still get the same sets, Detection, Protection and Darkness, and it looks like at least some of the spells in those sets are the same as the originals. At the very least, Wall of Stone, Future Sight and Chains of Darkness. I do hope they have been given a power boost. They were weak under the European rule set, I can only imagine they are weaker under the American rules. This edition of the expansion also includes some new punch boards. We get new versions of old tiles, such as the Lightning and Earthquake tiles for use with the Stormmaster spells, plus a new room overlay which seems to represent a magic circle. That's a nice bonus. And something else. Something which has a lot of potential. This expansion is introducing a skill acquisition mechanism. It looks like there is a town map tile with spaces to place a hero. Places on the map include the Arcane Library, the Peacekeeper's Tower, the Witch's Hut, the Dewdrop Inn and the Sharpshooter's Archery Range. There is also a Boon of Heroism deck, which I assume you draw from to indicate you have acquired the skill from that location. I'm not expecting anything too crazy there, but it's the sort of thing a lot of players have been interested in exploring, and it could bode well for some more interesting developments in the future. Finally, I did note that on the Amazon listing it says there are multiple paths to victory. I don't know if that means there will be a branching campaign like in Jungles of Delthrak. I guess we will have to wait to find out. So there it is. I know I have whistled through all of this rather quickly, but I think I am going to leave it there for now. There is lots to unpack, lots more to say, but I do prefer to really dive into this stuff when I have the product in front of me and I know exactly what we are dealing with. For now, I think it's enough to say that this looks like a good expansion. There is tons of new stuff in here, including some unexpected additions like the Artificer, and there is plenty of new miniatures. I think for those people who weren't happy with the Crypt of Perpetual Darkness, this should be a return to form. I am looking forward to it. Some places are already taking pre-orders. I grabbed the images for this video from the Big Bad Toy Store and Amazon.com, where the expansion is listed at $49.99 with an estimated release date of March 2026. So grab your wallets, I guess. It looks like HeroQuest is back on the menu. Let me know your thoughts because that is it from me for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please consider pressing the like button. If you really like this video, please consider subscribing if you don't already do so. And hopefully, I will see you all again very soon. Bye bye everyone. Bye bye.